If there was one play at that time of LeBron's career, that was like game-changing, and I wouldn't say career-altering, but it clearly made a statement like, here comes the next.
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
I've done the NBA. My first year was 1982, and I was right out of college.
We'll watch history in the making. The first game ever.
So I've done like 38 years of the NBA.
Welcome to the continuation of Premier Week here on TNT.
And I've been lucky enough to watch Kobe, and before that, Michael, and I had a little bit of Bird and Magic, and a little bit of Dr. J. So I've gotten to do all these great players. But James, he's built so differently because he has all the incredible moves and quick twitch that those smaller players have.
Oh my goodness.
He's got the length of a guy that doesn't play his position. But he's got this force about him that just punctuates everything he does. So that recipe, we've never seen that kind of formula for what he is in the NBA. Doug and I had done LeBron's very first pro game back in his rookie year in Sacramento. So his story was very vivid, but he was still a young player, right? He's still molding into what he was going to become.
I know I'll be nervous, but I think once the game tip off, then I get comfortable.
I'll be ready to play.
LeBron James' first shot is good. Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam of his career.
Every time he faced a new set of expectations, he didn't just meet them, he exceeded them. Whether it was in big games, whether it was against big opponents, whether it was when he was on national television, whether it was after he made the cover of Sports Illustrated. So I just assumed when he came into the league that he was going to keep doing that because I had watched him do it for years. But in all honesty, I had no credibility or no frame of reference to actually know how hard what he was trying to do was. The Cavs franchise hadn't been to the playoffs in like 7 or 8 years. So when he made the playoffs for the first time in 2006, it was a really big deal.
Very excited to be a part of the postseason, man. And I waited 2 years.
Beautiful pass. James and a foul.
In 2007, what is known as the 48 special, really in LeBron James' career, there was before and after that moment in Detroit.
From a game that will be talked about for quite some time.
It was the first hot night of the summer. It was very warm in the building. They didn't have the air conditioning properly turned on. I know it's one of the most memorable games of LeBron's career, but if you go back and watch the footage, it's a brutal game to watch.
Kind of reminds me of like the movie 300. I wish I could have laid down right there on the bench. I looked up at the scoreboard and we had won the game. Was able to finally just say, and just let it all go.
How do you feel right now after putting
Terrible.
I meant physically.
Huh?
Physically, are you tired? Is it exhausting?
Yeah, I feel terrible right now.
You have to remember the time and place. LeBron is only 22 years old. He is only in his 4th season. He is in the finals. I mean, that was a crazy rise. We're talking about a team that had 17 wins, the year before he got there. And his first year only had 35. It was amazing he got him to 35, but to get from those depths to the finals in just year 4 was really a remarkable turn.
This is going to be your league in a little while.
But unfortunately, something else happened in the league right when it looked like LeBron was about to take it over. And that was the big 3 of the Boston Celtics was formed.
Rejected by Kevin Garnett.
Got it!
Write this down. Paul Pierce is the mother truth.
As you mentioned, he's going up against reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Garnett, and they've got Pierce, they've got Ray Allen, and they've got an assortment of other terrific players on that Boston team. And the game that we did was in Cleveland, and the Cavaliers are coming back and trying to make a series of it with the Celtics. So you've kind of got established guys and the historic Celtic brand against a Cleveland team that has been energized by this young player, but still getting their traction. The preparation is the same with a guy like Doug Collins, just because he demanded every level of that crew be on their game. And with all the eyes on you and the importance of a Boston team and this rising star, LeBron, it was a great series to get. In that particular game in Cleveland, where they were just beginning to feel what he could do for the franchise, really made it electric.
Smith on post. Here comes LeBron. Oh, what a play. James was open and fires the shot.
You've got this great player in LeBron, and you've got this crowd, this capacity crowd in this building in full throat. That combination in the playoffs is just so captivating. When you know you've got a homegrown player that is of a LeBron James, making, that brings a whole nother element to what you're doing. He's from the area. He grew up a Cavs fan. He is stepping on his prominent stage against the vaunted Celtics. So everything that you want as a broadcaster is right there before you.
Yeah, the whole series pretty much came down at that point to whether the Cavs could win Game 4 to even the series.
Cleveland trying to even this series after being down 2 games to none.
And really what the Cavs' belief is if they could get the series to Game 6 or 7, that they had the best player, that he could tilt the series in their direction. That was the formula against the Detroit Pistons.
LeBron James drills it from down.
Try to hold serve at home and then just figure out a way to steal one with the best player.
When you're doing a game like that and you don't know which turn is going to be next and what's around the corner, you want to lose yourself in the game.
Yeah, the game had been a real rock fight. It was a classic Eastern Conference defensive battle.
Here's for 3 over James, and the rebound by Delonte West coming down hard, lost the ball, grabbed by Garnett, they call it. And now Varejao has a little shove in there on the big ticket.
Doug is sitting here to my right, and LeBron gets the ball in and around the circle.
There was around 2 minutes left. The Celtics were still not out of it. They still were within striking distance.
An edge of your seat type of series.
They ran a very classic play, a high pick and roll with him and Joe Smith, and LeBron came off the screen
and begins to make his strong, agile moves with great force inside.
And James Posey made a mistake. He took the wrong angle, and that allowed LeBron to get that corner turned. It was just a showdown at the rim between him and Kevin Garnett.
Comes out on LeBron. Now they switch, and here's Pierce again. A Smith screen. Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James, with no regard for human life, has given the Cavaliers their biggest lead tonight.
It was a pivotal point of the game because no lead is safe, especially against a team like the Celtics. But a play can change a game so dramatically. And that was that kind of play.
That's one that, I after he did it inside, I was so pumped up. I tried to flex, like he did. I tried to flex. I ain't have any muscles to flex. So I just flexed my jaw and then gave him 5. That was unbelievable. That was amazing.
He knew if he got the ball in the basket, he probably ends the game.
And when he came in, I don't think he knew who he was going around. Screens were being set, switches were being conveyed, and he still was able to navigate his way to get close.
Man, oh man, what a punctuating dunk from LeBron James.
He gets the ball in the basket, the Cavs have a win. Garnett blocks that shot, the Celtics can get a fast break and maybe cut it down to a 2-possession game.
And the way he had no regard for whoever was on him was punctuated by a stiff arm and went like this as he was kind of jackknifing his body away from the rim. Like a guy that big, you just don't see that.
Garnett was a little bit slow. He was a bit out of position.
Oh, goodness, right over. Kevin Garnett's your defensive player of the year, and he just got posterized.
So the dunk around Garnett was game-changing. I wouldn't say career-altering, but it clearly made a statement like, here comes the next.
You see that dunk as an omen?
Yes, I do. And I thought people went crazy over the lob dunk a couple of weeks ago he had, and there was nobody in the picture. But see, there's a guy in the picture, and he's wearing number 5 on the Celtics. And no, it wasn't Bill Walton, no, it's not John Thompson, 2 previous number 5s. It's Kevin Garnett. And I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have an edge. I know momentum changes, but I think they have an edge now.
And the Cavs not only believe they had the best player, they believe they had the momentum.
If there was one play at that time of LeBron's career, it wasn't like, here I am, NBA. It was more like, this shows you what's to come. This shows you what I can do.
Hadn't had a play like that all series, and I just turned the corner and seen Posey and gave him an in and out, and he went for the fake. Once I turned the corner and I get my 1-2 down, it's not too many guys that can get up there and jump with me.
What you were really saying at that point was, this is a series. LeBron can do this again, because the question was, can LeBron rise up? He had done this to the Pistons the year before. The Pistons were the #1 seed. They scrapped their way to get LeBron into position, and then he delivered the knockout blow. And that was really the question.
LeBron James got to the finals last year doing something like this. This guy seems to learn on the fly as quickly as any great player who has ever played in the NBA.
The entire arena felt the pressure of that moment. Everybody in the building was on their feet.
It was so like, did we just see that? Did we just see what just happened? And then Doug Collins, when he went in, took his arm and put it against my chest with such force that both of our chairs went backwards like this. And we're in the lap of the people right in back of our broadcast position.
Those of us who were in the arena, we had no idea what the call was. But if you saw the play happen live, it was such a powerful play that it created a visceral reaction from the crowd.
James with no regard for human life.
And Kevin Harlan felt that, sitting courtside as the crowd was all risen around him.
Because the people were pushing us up out of their lap as they're rising to their feet to go bananas over this LeBron dunk. I always use Doug as a key that whenever he reacted with that particular armbar move to my chest, I knew that it was like something phenomenal.
James with a Julius Erving playoff moment. Holy shnikes, the hook jam. Bam!
So if LeBron plays just like that tonight, I think Cleveland wins this game and wins it easily.
When you see how he described that play in real time, it was such an appropriate way to pass along the power of the moment.
But I have to go back on a story on where those words came from. I never write sayings. I never write phrases. I don't write words. I want everything to come from within. And I could have easily just oohed and ahed and whatever and let it happen. Our son, when he was a little guy, we used to play one-on-one. Dad against 2-3-year-old Robert is our son's name. And, we would joke around and laugh and goes, oh, I just took it right into, we'd make up all these funny sayings and do like mock games. And I'm a big James Bond movie fan.
James Bond.
And in one of the early James Bond movies, he is in the lair of an underwater villain who's going to rule the world with some bomb or some catastrophic event. And as he's sitting at the dining table and the villain is explaining what he's going to do to control the world, Sean Connery, James Bond, looks at him and said, well, you clearly have no regard for human life. And for whatever reason, that line stuck with me. I didn't use it much unless I was screwing around, especially when I was playing Nerf basketball with my, 3, 4, 5-year-old son. But at that moment, it came out.
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
When the Cavaliers and James made a gigantic statement against one of the historically great teams this league has ever seen in that Boston Celtics team.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have tied this series at 2-2.
I used it for Kobe.
Trying to get him. Bring back. Oh, Kobe Bryant! Regard for human life.
I think I used it for Kevin Garnett.
With no regard for human life.
In some of those early years with the Timberwolves, they were so bad, we were like making stuff up as we were going along.
Kevin Garnett's going crazy. Kevin Garnett's going mad. He's got mad count, is he? Up court. Here comes Garnett into Gugliotta. Googly, oogly, oogly, baby.
And then Kobe would do things that were just so otherworldly that you're constantly searching for ways to describe what he was doing.
Fisher, nice rotation of Bryant. Buckle up for Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the target center. What a play.
And then clearly with that LeBron dunk.
LeBron James with no human life.
Actually, since that dunk, I have never used that again. This 2K NBA video game I've done for about 20 years, and I've never used it on that. And they want me to, they will say, can you please? I said, no, that call, that line has a very special place. It was retired with that LeBron dunk in that playoff game. But I've not seen a dunk like that, by the way, since that night. I've not seen. Now you see the highlight 360, but in that moment, with that setting, with that crowd, at the age of that kid against who he did it against, I've not seen that since. So there are those special moments. The Kawhi falling down, series-winning three-point shot.
By Simmons, is this the dagger?
The LeBron dunk
has given the Cavaliers their biggest lead tonight.
Some of the acrobatics with Kobe.
Up high, down hard.
Some of the Michael things I did in the day.
Into Dumars, through traffic, weaving inside. Michael Jordan.
They kind of stand on their own. If it was just a guy doing the dunk, he may be lost and out of the game right now. This is LeBron James. And it was Kobe Bryant, it was Kevin Garnett. Like, these are the pillars of what the NBA has built its reputation on. But when I said it, I didn't think about anything except, like, holy.
Dunk at the end seemed to be game, set, and match. Anything he does on the court, is there a wow factor anymore to that? Is it amazing when you see that?
Hell, he can dunk. Yeah, especially if you give him a running start at the basket, it's probably going to be a pretty good dunk. And he's so darn powerful that once he gets up there, there's not a lot you can do. I hate the fact that he got to the basket personally, but he did.
What I do remember about that series, it was then that LeBron, I think, first had the understanding that he might have to leave the Cavs.
Sudden death game. Whoever wins advances. Whoever loses, watch the rest of the playoffs from their living room couch.
LeBron has been one of the greatest Game 7 players in the history of the NBA.
Oh, blocked by James! LeBron James with a rejection!
Game 7 is always the greatest two words in sports.
But he did lose Game 7 in Boston that year in what was a historically great duel with Paul Pierce.
Pierce moving to his right, pull-up elbow jumper, got another one!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Paul Pierce, LeBron James.
James with the steal. Here he goes. And James makes it a 1-point game.
After losing Game 7,
It is over at the Garden. Game 7 is history in every way there is.
was as upset as LeBron had been at that point I'd ever seen him. But his dejection and realization that he was now getting in towards the middle of his career, he was really entering his prime years. He was looking around and he didn't like what he saw.
If I see I'm doing the right thing, I'm going to keep doing it. But that one time when I see that my game is not working, that's when I might have to make a few changes.
What I remember is, years later in 2011 in Miami, he beat the Celtics in the playoffs for the first time.
James over Pierce. That might be the dagger.
And he fell down to a knee at the conclusion of Game 5 and again had emotion.
You said that Philadelphia was just breakfast. How does lunch taste after knocking off Boston?
It's a great team. They're the reason why all three of us came together. It's because of what they did, that blueprint they had in 08 when they all came together.
The two ends of that spectrum, witnessing how crushed he was losing in 2008 and 2010, but particularly in 2008, and how elated he was and relieved and cleared his mind to win in 2011 with the Heat, to really in his mind justify going to Miami. Whether it would be justified in anybody else's mind, he couldn't control that. But I think he felt in that moment, finally he had beaten the Celtics and gotten that weight off of his shoulder. And that weight was put there starting in that 2008 playoff series.
You can take positive from anything, even if it don't look that good.
The way that you can sum up LeBron's career is that no one in the history of the sport has ever been this good for this long.
LeBron James just passing legends as he goes.
There have been players who have had runs and stretches where they have been better maybe, Michael Jordan winning those 6 titles in 8 years, 6-0 in the finals, is pretty much untouchable.
Championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
He brought like a whole new chapter to playing the NBA. From the silhouette with the Nike shoes.
Sure it's not the shoes?
I'm sure, Mark.
To the posters, to the dunk contest wins.
Gets ready for launch. Tongue out.
To the championships.
Right to Jordan, time winding down. Michael for 3. Yeah! 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 Yes! Yes! Yes!
Like he was, to me, he was probably the greatest player.
But nobody has ever been this dominant of a player over this course of time.
He didn't have the longevity and this broad span that LeBron has had.
To lead 4 different teams essentially to the finals, to win finals MVP with 3 different franchises.
How, when everybody is coming at you, do you keep your head and perform at the level you do?
For me, I can't worry about what everybody say about me. Cleveland! This is for you! And I want my damn respect too.
But Michael was the first, and Kobe copied Michael, and then LeBron copied both of them.
You compare it to other great players or other good players, I can't do nothing but smile, for one, because to even be in the same breath as Michael Jordan, Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson, when I be done, I don't want people to say, well, he ended up the same way as this person or this player. I want people to say that LeBron James did it his way, and now he's the legend.
And it is that longevity that is his claim to greatness.
I think it was a God-given ability.
I mean, what more could a broadcaster want than to try to describe the theatrics of these 3 incredible players, probably led by LeBron, who has had the career that no one thought could ever be constructed, and he has constructed it.
You know, this is a long time dream to finally accomplish this, and it finally shows that the hard work has finally paid off for me.